Alright, you guys, as promised, we're gonna get together for a little quick intro, a little bit of a 20-minute back opener here. This exercise is something that's going into stuff that will upset a lot of massage therapists and a lot of people that work on the body, because it's going to take you away. It's going to take your pain away. It's going to take your back pain away. You don't need to spend hours or anything like this doing on it. You just need to put the body in special positions that allow gravity to put enough pressure on your muscle for your brain to realize that it's subconsciously activated, and then you can relax it. So we're going to be targeting the muscles, our psoas, our transversalis, different muscles in our hips that are going to be creating tension in our back in different ways, and we're going to release these, and then we're going to see how we feel. Should we throw in a candle?
Yeah, there's a lighter.
Oh, cool.
Dim this light.
Yeah, candlelight will be fine. I don't think we need too much light, actually. Sweet. Just scope the video. You can kill that one too, man. Yeah, I think this is okay. Alright, cool. Yeah, we have enough light here. This is really nice. The wooden floor, even in small places, it just adds so much. Okay, so let's come into the space of breathing. Let's take our palms, put them flat against the mat. I always like to start with hand openers, because in yoga, you're using your hands to absorb a lot of impact while you stretch other parts of your body, and we live in the 21st century. Yoga was not designed in the 21st century. So we do the hand openers to undo all the phone and computer typing. Let's rotate them thumbs forward a little bit. There you go. And then we're going to rotate them to the side, which we just did, which is going to allow them to open up in a different way. So right now we're just opening the tendons in the hands so that when we do our downward dogs, we're not putting extra strain on our wrist. With every breath, we're melting, but we're also stacking our vertebrae. The spine itself doesn't lose any height if they all stay in line. So we keep ourselves tall, but we let everything that's extra melt away effortlessly. So let's take a deep breath and let's hold at the top. Let's go ahead and start to twist and move our spine at our peak breath to really feel what our lungs, where they exist, space that they exist in. Let's slowly start to walk our hands forward now. But I would like to invite you guys to, once you get all the way forward, to still twist out. Let's see if you can really let your neck drop here. Letting the neck drop is super important for stretching the nerves. We're going to slowly shift our weight forward, pulling our feet back, scooting our knees back a couple inches, and sinking into our first child's pose. So child's pose is a really powerful tool that opens up the back by putting all of your weight down on your hips while you're in this forward fold position. It completely starts to open up the middle of your lumbar. And when you can really begin to see is when we tuck our feet under and we start to come back into our cow and we start to move forward. You can feel that when you move your hips from side to side that they're connected up into the back. Now, we don't really understand this connection because we think of the body in terms of its physical components that we can separate and pull apart. This is a tendon, that's a muscle. But really, the whole body is connected by a myofascial net. Let's push up into our downward dog. And this net tends to tighten up and get lodged, and it can create adhesions. So we're going to bicycle our feet separate from side to side. And when we're doing yoga, we take our muscle to the point of we're feeling that tension. So say I'm stretching this calf. You take your muscle to that point, and then you just breathe and let it relax on its own. There's no stretching of the actual muscle. What is being moved is the relationship between the myofascia and the muscle. Alright, so let's push backwards down and deeper into that downward dog here. And now let's slowly start to bring our knees down, tucking them into our chest, now let's push our back further. Now that our knees are down, we can come back further and start to walk our hands in a little bit. We're gonna really press in here, and we can try to straighten a little bit, but really we're just locking ourselves in this inversion, resetting our lymph fluid and pulling our back from both directions. Partially using our legs to stabilize our core and stabilize the back from itself, as in it's being used, but then also relaxing the upper back, really creating this tension from both sides. So let's go ahead and slowly drop our knees, hovering an inch above. And let's go ahead and twist to the right. And come down a little bit. Now let's slowly go back to center. We're going to come down on the other side. So we're going to be going into the money pose. The reason I call it the money pose is because it's going to save you money. So this lunge is going to open up that lower back. And lunge is something that some yoga teachers don't even go into their entire class. For me, I think this is a core focus in my goal, which is helping people open their body up. So this is a big secret right here. Whoever thought stretching the legs apart would open up the lower back? There's two sets of muscles that run down the back. Even though we have one spine, we have two sets of muscles running down. And that's what the important part is about doing the splits with your legs, is you're stretching half of what's pulling your back down. Our body has an intrinsic pressure that it creates inside itself that holds itself together. In this case, when we open up our glutes and we're opening up our hamstrings, we can bring the slight over and then fold it down in pigeon. We don't want to go too deep in this because we just doing it in the beginning of class, so just kind of stay up here. We don't need to fold over. But this is kind of like where the keys begin. So you start to see what we're doing. We're taking the hips and we're using gravity to stretch them apart. Now there could be a specific part of your hips that's tight, that's not similar to other people. So let's whip that back leg around. Let's cross it. And so you really want to stretch your legs in all directions during your practice. So we've got the front, we got the sides, we got the twists. There's only so many ways you can go. And in one of those directions, if you're having some serious back problems, boom, you're going to feel it. You're going to say, whoa, this one feels different than the others. Either it's a more intense stretch or it's harder to do something. So then that's your clue. Okay, go deeper here. Work on this muscle first to oxygenate and release it, then slowly over time to strengthen it. So I think when I made that claim the other day about PTs and massage therapists, because when you don't stimulate the body from within, you're not stimulating it to heal. A massage can take your myofascia and move it around and take off the adhesions, but it can also damage certain things by so say you get a massage the next day, you're very sore. But if you do yoga on that particular part of your body in a healing, restorative way, let's go ahead and sweep this one back around. If you do it in a healing, restorative way, you're not going to be sore the next day because you didn't have to break up a ton of healthy tissue to reset your myofascia. Okay, let's slowly bring this leg up and back. Now, this is a distinction here that I always teach in every class because everyone else leaves it out of every class. Rotate the legs to the side and lift it up further. So the side rotation actually triggers a different muscle. So I want you guys to straight lock. Okay,